Okay, guys. So the manifold restriction really kind of bugged me. So what did I do today? I did some work on the heads. I opened up the bowls a little bit. They're now 1.68 throat, which is about an 87%, I think. I really don't want to make the bowls huge on these because my mid-range numbers are really good. But I didn't like the way the port started to lose it at 400, 500 thousandths. We're going to have it stable by then. So I did a little more work to the short side radius. I checked some air speeds. I raised the roof on the fast side a little bit. What else did we do? I did a little bit of work in the chamber. I changed to deshrouding a little bit in the chamber. And then the intake manifold gaskets came in. So I lined them up, and the heads were really good. They just needed a little touch, but the intake was off by quite a bit. Then I said, you know what? I should bolt this together and stick my borescope through. Well, seems there's a full 1/8 inch lip on the bottom where the intake port meets the head. You can see an 1/8 of an inch of the gasket. So there's literally an 1/8 inch wall. Now that obviously can't be good for flow. I mean, it may be good to reintroduce liquid fuel. That's an idea. But I'm really kind of hoping that between the texture I use in the manifold and the customer will be using a good carburetor that actually atomizes the fuel, we won't have to worry about liquid fuel in the manifold. So I did a little bit of grinding. I eliminated about half of that lip. I may, depending upon what I take a look at tomorrow, I may be adding a little epoxy. I haven't decided how I'm going to do it yet, but obviously I'm going to get a much better match than I've got right now. So, what did I write on here? 202 back cut, 1.68 throat, gasket match, and I raised roof the center of the cylinder a little bit. Okay. And okay. If you compare this row to this row, that's just what I did today. That consisted of changing the bowl ratio a little bit, raising the fast side of the roof a little bit of a gasket match, not much. Okay. We start to get a gain at 200. All right. Same. But these still stayed pretty well, pretty good. I mean, 211 is an excellent number. This was actually a little better. See, this is what I was afraid of when I as far as opening the bowl. I'm going to lose this really nice meaty curve right in the middle. But I didn't like how it maxed out at 400 thousandths. And then down it went. So we're getting separation across the short side radius. So I wanted to fix that. So I lost a little bit here and there, right? But 239, 239.4, 242, 243. Notice how it keeps going up? That's important. Okay? It doesn't matter that it only goes up a little bit. It doesn't have that nasty separation that we had before. Okay, then we can compare. I bolted the intake on. It's not. I wrote intake mismatch better. Okay, and now that was the low H. So Here, that low H is right over here. This is low H. Best we did, let's say 500 was 202. 500 here, 213 and change. That's a noticeable difference. That's 10 CFM. And that mismatch isn't even perfect. So I'm going to be working on that a little bit more. I'm going to be... The intake manifold's actually just roughed out. I may go through it and... I know I will. I'm going to go through and check my areas and so forth in the manifold and make sure they're where I want them. And I did like, we had a lot of good comments on the last video, and I really appreciate them. Larry Moe posted performer RPMs and how much they were losing. Well, it was right around 16%. Well, that's about what we were losing with this manifold. So I don't feel like we're in left field. And now that I know that we have a mismatch, that we can fix. Whether I fix it with a little epoxy or I fix it with a little grinding, I'm not really worried about it. And even if I grind the floor, I'm never thrilled about grinding the floor of a port, but if the pinch is really tight like it is on these heads and I take a little out of the floor to match and I gain a little area in my pinch, that might be worth it. That may be the way to go. Take a quick look at our air speeds. Those are the air speeds for the latest flows, where it was flowing 239.4 at a half an inch. Right, pinch is still fast. Notice how much closer the roof speeds are. That helped. 218, 223. That was a big help. And our short side radius, 415, 418. Notice how close those two are. And then the other side was 386. That was quite a bit slower. Am I going to work on that some more? I may do a little more. I haven't fully decided. I think once we get around 220 CFM through the intake manifold, I think we'll exceed my customers' expectations by a good amount. Let me know what you guys think, because I'm interested. Thanks a lot.